Hello, welcome to episode number 486 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We are here in... Are we here in? Yes, we are. I did say it. Okay. We are here in Dublin, Ireland, Aviva Stadium for the final stop on the road to WrestleMania 40, the Elimination Chamber. This is a very fucking stacked pay-per-view. We've got 2 chamber matches. We've got Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. We've got The Rock special guest refereeing a World Heavyweight Championship match between LA Knight and Swerve. We've got Becky defending the belt in her home country against Sasha Banks. And we've got a Women's Tag Team Championship match between 2 Queendom sides, which is actually the main event tonight. Queendom Civil War. Tegan Nox and Piper Niven challenging Io Sky and Dakota Kai for the Tag Team Championships. Plus, tonight is the night where we find out who both Gunther and Florence have picked to challenge for the championship at WrestleMania following their respective Royal Rumble victories. Should be a show to remember. Without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. Opening segment, Ireland. The same 5 Irish people, narrating over the opening package, Becky, Lyra, Sheamus, Finn, and Cammy. And yeah, that's going to take us into our first match, which will be the 6-man tag team match where Sheamus will compete in his home city. He'll already be the first man out, actually, to a massive pop. It'll be him, Orange Cassidy, and Rey Mysterio taking on Grayson Waller, Dirty Dom, and Tyler Breeze in a match that scores a 75, sure. It is what it is, and what it is a way to get Sheamus a win in Dublin, because I didn't want to put him in the chamber because, I want the fans to be cheering for Cody in the chamber. But yeah, the babyface team do win, and Sheamus pins Dom with a brogue kick because it's Dominic, so it would get an even bigger pop. 66 for Rey, 76 for Sheamus, 61 for Orange Cassidy, 75 for Tyler Breeze, 68 for Grayson Waller, and a 78 for Dirty Dom. And yeah, pretty fun opener, just nice opening match. Sheamus gets a big hometown pop win. And yeah, these 6 people, sort of still in the same orbit of each other this close to WrestleMania is odd. But then get, the opener out of the way, so now it's time for the first titular match of the evening. As the chamber falls, it will be the Women's Elimination Chamber match for the ECW Women's Championship. The champion Julia defends in the match against Lyra Valkyria, Blair Davenport, Sonya Deville, Ruby Riott, and Hikaru Shida. 81. Yeah, that's fine. For the ECW Women's Chamber, that's fine. So, this chamber I haven't got as detailed into as I have the men's. I've just got, the final 3 or 4 mapped out. But the first person to be eliminated from the match would be Blair Davenport. She'd be eliminated by Ruby Riott with the Riott kick. Ruby would come in out of her pod and, after about a minute or so, will pin Blair and eliminate her from the match. Then everyone else is in, and then the next person to go will be Sonya Deville, who's pinned by Lyra Valkyria to a nice pop. Ireland pinning Sonya in Dublin. I don't know if Lyra's specifically from Dublin. They don't announce that on NXT. It's weird. But anyway. Next to go, it would take all 3, each will do the spot where all 3 women hit her with one of their finishes each. The John Cena elimination spot from, 08, I want to, 09? It was 09, it was the year Edge, jumped into both chambers. Yeah, that spot where they all hit her with the finisher. And that is to Ruby, and Ruby is eliminated because, she hasn't been pinned since she's been repackaged. And I want to make her looking good. So, all 3 people, including the champion, having to hit their finishers to eliminate her. Which leaves the final 3 of Julia, Shida, and Lyra Valkyria. And Lyra will get the elimination on Hikaru Shida. Imagine some sort of roll-up. I know it's in the chamber, which is going to but she does eke past Shida. And Shida, can't believe it. She's got her head in her hands. She thought her and Liv were both going to leave as champions tonight. But Shida has been eliminated, which means the final 2 here in Dublin are Lyra and Julia. And of course, they want the hometown girl to get it done, but she does end up falling just short. And Julia retains the ECW Women's Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. and seemingly goes on to WrestleMania with the title. I mean, she could drop it on TV before then, but, you know, as far as things stand right now. 72 for Blair, 83 for Julia, 82 for Shida, 68 for Lyra, 74 for Ruby, and a 72 for Sonya. And yeah, time to see what's next for the ECW Women's Division coming out of this Elimination Chamber. 5 of the best, and still. The Demon is here. He just gets his big over babyface pop entrance here in, you know, his home country. I know he's not from Dublin, so yeah. But the Demon is here. He's wrestling Aleister Black. 80. Which, for the kind of match I wanted this to be, like, I could have made this, like, get a higher rating by, like, going, oh, this will be, like, 17 minutes slow build, like I do all my normal good matches. But in my head, this was, like, a fast-paced sprint. You know, there's 10 matches on this pay-per-view, 2 chambers. We're just coming off a chamber. You know, let's get the action going. Like, this is a 9-minute 30 sprint. And Balor, the Demon, does come out on top over Aleister Black. He pins him, apparently with a double knee gut buster, but no with a coup de grace. 81 for Aleister, 86 for Balor. This decision, when I originally marked out this match in my head, and WrestleMania in my head, I originally had Aleister Black winning this match, but if you remember, we haven't seen the Demon since Clash at the Castle, and on that pay-per-view, the Demon lost clean to Gunnar, and I didn't want to have the Demon come back after, you know, a year and a half and just lose again. So him fighting Aleister and beating him in a singles match, and also he's not going to be the Demon at WrestleMania. Like, I know what Finn's doing at WrestleMania. He's not going to be the Demon there. So do the Demon here. You know, in his home country. You know, this is basically his WrestleMania before WrestleMania. He gets the big Demon win. But then he gets up, the Demon's celebrating. I guess AJ does get in as well. But he's dropped with a black mat again. The House of Black Maul on AJ Styles again as well. Toss him to the outside the ring. And then I imagine the spot would be like Brody King would hand like a towel or something to Aleister. And he'd hold the Demon in his hands and he'd like wipe the paint off the Demon who's out cold in his hands. And like we just leave the Demon laying there like half his face has been wiped off. And Aleister holds like the towel up with the black paint on it. And he stands over him, he goes, you see, beneath every single Demon, inside every single Demon, there's a mere mortal just waiting to burst out. You see, Finn, Balor may be tough, but this doesn't end until I break you. Team Prime entrance. Logan Paul, KSI make their way to the ring because we've got Raw Tag Team Championship actions as they'll challenge Titus World Records for the Raw Tag Team Championship here in Dublin. And a 75 rated match. Logan Paul knocks out R-Truth in 750. And we have new Raw Tag Team Champions. Logan Paul and KSI. You left the goal. Whoever it was that left the goal for a celebrity champion, or celebrity tag team champions, or whatever it was. There you go. We got him. Logan Paul and KSI taking those tag team championships all the way around the world. KSI is apparently rusty, but sure. 59 for R-Truth, 66 for Shanky, 60 for KSI, and a 70 for Logan Paul. Tragically, the run of Titus World Records has come to... Again, it's one of those things where it's like giving them the belts. I had to do it because I had to try and get Shanky over, and I had to give Truth a belt that wasn't the 24/7 title. So it's a nice moment to build to, but then once they've actually won the titles and they've done the chase, you're left with R-Truth and Shanky as your tag team champions. So, like... yeah. They're not there. They weren't making it to WrestleMania as the champion. Like, I love them, but no. But now, Logan Paul, KSI, Raw Tag Team Champions here tonight. After the match, they're celebrating when, KSI picks up the downed body of R-Truth and Logan Paul knocks him out again. And then they grab steel chairs and they wail away on Shanky and actually Pillman-eye Shanky's leg. Like his knee. Shanky's screaming in pain. He can't stand up. He keeps trying to stand up. He keeps collapsing to the floor. And these two fucking assholes just laugh at him. They've taken Shanky's belts and apparently his leg. We then get a quick backstage segment. The next match is the Liberty Championship match. Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill. Liv's there. She's getting her jacket on. And Shida hobbles in. And she's been through hell in the chamber earlier on tonight. She's like, I lost. And Liv's like, I know I saw it, but, I'll win for us both. Tonight it's me against Jade. Everybody's looking down at me. Nobody thinks I've got a chance, but I've now got the weight of you and me on my shoulders. I need to not let either of us down. And Shida goes, yeah, good luck out there, friend. And it is Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill. 77. This match is actually like 2 months in the making. Because they were originally supposed to wrestle at Holiday Hell, the December pay-per-view. But then Liv got attacked by somebody backstage. So now the title match is happening here. And it goes 9 minutes and 2. And Liv, I imagine, pushes Jade to the limit. Like, the closest Jade's come to losing the belt so far. Because you can tell how badly Liv wants it and how badly Liv needs it. And she hits the Oblivion on Jade. 1, 2, Jade gets a foot on her ropes. And this just pisses Liv off even more. But to the point where she starts seeing red, she charges at Jade. Probably like dives out in the corner. Jade moves out of the way. Liv hits the turnbuckle. And that becomes her undoing. Jade sort of then like picks her apart, big boot. And does hit that Jaded to retain the Women's Liberty Championship. 72 for Liv, 57 for Jade. Not too shabby. And after the match, Liv's getting to her feet. And the crowd's there, clapping her along, for her efforts. Shida comes out. She's like, look, I can't, be mad. You tried your hardest, Liv. You proved to the world that you could beat Jade on any other day. I lost to neither of us are champions right now. And they sort of just look around as the crowd cheers them both on. Shida, holds the rope up and waiting for Liv to leave. Like, let's Liv out of the ring. And grabs her by the hair and slams her back down to the mat. Boo. She pulls out the kendo stick, starts wailing on Liv in the ring. Just 10, 15, 20 shots. Liv just screams after every single one. And then she, drops the stick and, screams at Liv. It's like, hey, you want to take my spots? Huh? I thought we were friends. Okay? You did this to yourself. Runs away, hits big running knee. Knocks Liv Morgan out cold. Boos. Continue to echo. Shida walks out. $100 rated segment. Sasha and Becky hype video plus, homecoming entrance of Becky Lynch. All sorts of Irish stuff. Dublin's going crazy for Becky. Realistically, probably should be in the main event, but again, the better version of this show in my head ends with that tag team title match. But here we go. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, one more time for the Women's World Championship. 87. Okay, yeah, fine. Wasn't expecting a 99 or anything, but maybe a little bit better than that. And, it being in Dublin, 17:33, Becky does retain the championship. But it isn't as cut and dry as you may think. Because, of course, Sasha is going to win. She has Becky beat, it seems. When Bayley pops back up, and Bayley costs Sasha Banks this championship match. Pulls the referee out of the ring as he's counting the pin off the bank statement. No, not the bank statement, the other move. The pinfall move she does. I forgot the name of because she's been injured for so long. That one. Yes. And then, hits Sasha, punches her in the face. She bumps into a manhandle slam pin, 1, 2, 3. And then Bayley comes in, raises Becky's arm in Dublin. Big pop. Yeah. 94 for Becky, 86 for Sasha. Does what it needed to do. But, again, we are at the Elimination Chamber here. And there's one more of those aforementioned match types yet to go. WWE Championship on the line. The American Nightmare comes out. Dublin goes, whoa. And, yeah. Chamber match now. It's Cody Rhodes, Carmelo Hayes, Christian, Edge, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre for that WWE Championship. 88. That's actually good. I was like, okay, given like the appearance of like this one person, but no, there are 3 people in here that didn't get 80s in the rating. Christian got a 70, Edge got a 73, and Randy got a 77. And then Drew got an 85. So the only 2 people who scored higher than an 88 were Cody on a 93 and Melo on a 94, which is interesting. But yeah, the match gets an 88, which is pretty good. Now this match starts with Randy Orton in the ring alongside Christian. And Christian's got to spend that first 5 minutes, avoiding Randy. Because, they've got a lot of history where Christian once spat in this man's face to win a world title. And of course, Randy's still kind of friends with Edge now. And Christian is no longer friends with Edge. Then the next man comes in comes Carmelo Hayes. He does his thing. Then in comes Drew McIntyre. He does his thing. Then in comes Edge. And I imagine we get the spot where, he comes in, goes straight after Christian. Like, Christian runs into the open pod, shuts himself in the pod. And, like, Edge and Randy are on either side of the pod trying to get at him. Then eventually the door opens, they both enter the pod and beat him up. That spot is always fun. And then Cody comes in last. And then the first elimination takes place. Christian, he's running around the ring all over again. Randy's chasing after him. When he actually gets cut off by Carmelo Hayes with nothing but net out of nowhere. Like, normally it's him who hits the RKO out of nowhere, but no, he gets swiped out of nowhere by Melo. And Carmelo Hayes actually pins Randy Orton and eliminates Randy Orton first in the match. And, the referees are taking Randy out. The chamber door is open. When the crowd does pop, when the chamber door opens, Strick Williams rushes in, he kicks Carmelo Hayes in the face. And then when Melo gets to his feet, he turns around, he gets speared. And then Carmelo Hayes is eliminated next. And then see Cody Rhodes doing his thing, Cody and up on us all. He hits the crossroads on Drew McIntyre, but Drew kicks out. He turns around, Edge spears Cody. He looks like he's got Cody beat. When Christian flies in, Christian low blows Edge. And then he rolls him up, and he actually pins Edge. Christian eliminates Edge from the Elimination Chamber. To big boos, and Christian's losing his fucking mind going, hell yeah, I'm the fucking man, baby. Then eventually, Cody does pin Drew. And then as soon as Cody pins Drew, Christian low blows the American Nightmare. Christian hits that kill switch after low blowing Cody. 1, 2, and Cody does kick out. I had you there. But then, yeah, Cody pins Christian and retains the title. 94 for Melo, 70 for Christian, 93 for Cody, 85 for Drew, 73 for Edge, and a 77 for Randy. Yeah, fun match. I really liked the idea of having Christian be in the final 2 and then getting that one false finish where you're like, oh shit, he's actually going to do it. But no, of course, Cody retains. He holds the championship up high on top of one of the chamber pods. Crowd's going wild. They go, whoa. So the chamber's raised, and Gunther comes walking out. He just gets into the ring. Arms behind his back. Imperium by his side. Cody's there with the title over his shoulder, like looking across. Breathing heavy, he's just been through a war. And Gunnar just offers a hand out. And Cody looks confused. And he does eventually shake Gunnar's hand. To a big pop. They shake hands. And Cody sort of like looks at his belt, looks back up at the WrestleMania sign. Holds the belt up high. And Gunnar he goes to leave. And then he does boot Cody in the face after that. Drops Cody with a powerbomb. He looks down at the WWE Championship. Looks up at WrestleMania and then leaves. He doesn't pick the belt up. That strikes me as something that would be very no-no. Like, for the way I present a Gunnar character, like, my favourite thing I did with him was when he was on the Grace and Wonder Effect, he stood on the announce table instead of in the ring. Because that he would never sully himself or being on such a talk show. I imagine picking up the belt before you physically won it is another ick that Gunnar just would never do. So he just leaves it on the floor and looks at it. But it seems he's made his decision, and it will be Gunther challenging the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40. The Rock is here. The new board member of TKO has arrived. You know, he's here in his referee shirt. He's feeling the mana. He's got goosebumps. He's showing them off to the camera. It's here, you know. The mood has just changed. As we get our World Heavyweight Championship match. LA Knight's music hits. Him and The Rock have a bit of a stare down in the ring. Swerve comes out. He gets in The Rock's face. And yeah, an aura off here tonight for this World Heavyweight Championship match. Which, I'm going to say this before I click next, the rating could either be perfectly fine, or this could shit the bed. Because I don't know how TEW is going to react with what I did. 90, okay, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. It goes 14 minutes and 9 seconds, so it's not super long, but it's not super short. Again, it's mainly an aura match. It's LA Knight's in there, and The Rock's the referee. And I'm not saying all the greatest hits. The Rock definitely ejects Prince Nana at some point, because of course he does. Maybe even hits him with a rock bomb as well, for good measure. And then, you know, LA Knight, he's in the ring. He's got Swerve down. He's feeling it all. He himself is feeling the mana, you could say. He's down. He's standing above Swerve's head as Swerve's down the mat. He does the points. He's going for the Megastar's elbow. He goes, L.A. Knight, yeah. But then as he bounces off the ropes, The Rock catches him. And The Rock lays LA Knight out with a rock bottom. Crowd's in shock. What did this man just do? Swerve pulls himself up to the top rope. Then as LA Knight starts to stir, he hits the Swerve Stomp on LA Knight. Dwayne gets himself down. He counts the pin. 1, 2, 3. What just happened? The Rock is the referee, which was the number one thing I was like, I don't know if the game's going to like that. And then I had him be the referee and turn, which I was like, the gameplay was totally went like that. But no, it all went off fine. The mana was overwhelming here tonight, but maybe even too much for the Great One. Because we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Swerve Scott is the World Champion. The Rock has just fucked over LA Knight. After the match, you know, Swerve's up the ramp, he's celebrating with Nana and Bronco and Lucian. He still gets his celebration moment on the top of the ramp. But then we do cut back to The Rock in the ring, just glaring down. The shot is obviously LA Knight's down on the floor. Rock's looking down at him, and the camera angles are showing the WrestleMania sign in the background. And then The Rock himself walks over to LA Knight's head, his down body. And he hits at the people's elbow on LA Knight. And then he walks out. Now, speaking of bloodline business, The Rock's technically not bloodline business now. He's wrestled Roman Reigns already. Now, it's on to actual bloodline business. This is the recap segment featuring Solo and Jimmy as well. But this is no DQ ECW Championship. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. Also, like, guess for title of Tribal Chief. And all that comes with. 90 rated match again. Okay. That's nice. So yeah, this, as you can expect, it's Roman versus Jey. There is shenanigans to boot. You know, they're fighting around ringside. Solo, despite it being no disqualifications and him being perfectly legal out there, rocks up in a hoodie so we don't know who it is. I need to take the hood down and reveal that it is in fact him. He can show up here because he's a SmackDown guy, but this is a cross-branded pay-per-view. Like we saw with Trick Williams earlier on tonight, like, he can attack Carmelo Hayes because, you know, Raw and SmackDown guys are both here, and ECW. So yeah, Solo, he comes out, he's getting involved. And he's just being a general nuisance, you know. South Korea's getting ready to smash their television sets at home. When Jimmy does make his return, he rushes out of ringside. And Solo's at ringside, you know, he super kicks Solo goes staggered. Jay does a big suicide dive, Solo staggered again up against the announce table. And then Jimmy and Jay both look at each other, nod their heads, double super kick. Solo's laid out on the announce table. And then they both do a splash off the barricade through the table. So Solo's been isolated. And they get into the ring. They've got Roman Reigns in the corner. And Roman's looking up in shock. You know, he can see his title reign flash before his eyes. Because, you know, he's got his two cousins up against, you know, they beat him at the Royal Rumble in a very similar way to this. And they're both calling, like, they call him to get Roman up, like, and hit him with another one of those double super kicks. When Jimmy does indeed clock Jey Uso in the jaw with a super kick himself. The crowd can't believe it. What did he just do? He grabs him, he starts shouting at him, he goes, "Oh, what about me, Uso? What about me?" And then as he picks him up, he, like, tosses him towards Roman. Roman spears him as he's been tossed. Cuts Jey in half. 1, 2, 3. Roman retains. Both men get 89 rated performances, which is fun. But there it is. I've lowered the boom. There it is. There's the betrayal. After the match, though, Heyman's in the ring. Solo gets back to his feet, and Roman's sort of like looking across at Jimmy. And Jimmy's looking back at Roman. And Roman, like, he like throws a one up at Jimmy. He goes, I love you, my cuz, you know, thanks, Zeus. And Jay from across the ring just, like, looking back towards Roman, just shakes his head, slides out the bottom rope, and he himself just walks to the back without even looking back at the ring once. But yes, WrestleMania now only 6 weeks away, and we have our first officially confirmed match for the event, as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, defends the WWE Championship against our In General, the Royal Rumble winner, Gunther. You know, a modern day Rocky and Drago in the land of the Italian Stallion. 6 weeks away. WrestleMania, WWE Championship on the line. Rhodes, Gunther, for the first time ever, I believe. But now here's our main event hype segment. It's Queendom Law, you know, we know this. That's what this video package is. Going through it all. Dakota joining, Dakota forcing Tegan out, Piper joining Tegan, even more dissension now with where's Utami going to land. She left and seemingly sided with Asuka and made her own team. What's that all about? And also, Io's without an opponent for WrestleMania right now. We haven't found out who Florence is going to choose yet. So, a lot going into this main event here tonight. Only gets an 83, which I didn't expect this to be the best match on the show at all. But, again, in terms of finish and aftermath stuff, I felt like this felt right in the main event spot. And just in terms of, general build. But yes, Queendom Law, They probably do this part where, the bell rings and they're all in the ring, and then Piper and Io both go on the apron or whatever. And then Dakota and Tegan start. Because that's really where the primary beef is here. Not even really, because they both hate Io as well. But yes, the tag team match goes on, Tegan and Piper are coming up close. And it looks like the babyfaces do have the upper hand, but Cammy's being a usual nuisance at ringside, but unfortunately, her being Irish in the game means she would probably get some cheers for it. But, yeah. Eventually, Piper takes a spill to the outside. She goes up top for some sort of splash or something, but Dakota shoves her off. She takes a nasty bump on the apron and falls to the outside. Dakota kicks her in the face. And again, either a different announce table or we've reset up the one from before that Solo went through. Piper Niven takes a bump through an announce table. Io, hits a moonsault. Oh, that logistically doesn't sound like it makes sense. Or maybe it's just a moonsault off the barricade through the table. That would probably work better. But we then get into the ring. And Io hits a springboard dropkick on Tegan. Takes her down. And Dakota's in the corner. And she's like, hey, tag me, tag me, tag me. And Io does, obviously obliged, tagged in her partner. And then Io goes to stand back on the apron. She's like, no. Come here, let's finish this. And they both just approach Tegan, who's, dazed in the corner. And Io grabs her and just holds her still. And Dakota sort of just gets in Tegan, knocks his face. And Tegan's trying to hard to get away, but Io's got her pinned. And she goes, what's the matter, Tegan, huh? You struggling? What? I thought leaving Queendom was the best choice for you. Okay? I told you. You left Queendom. You did this to yourself. And now you're gonna get what's coming to you. And she sort of slaps her in her face, to wake her up. She's like, hey, listen to me, look at me. Okay? You're not getting away from this. You need to live with this decision. Okay? I want you to see this coming. And she sort of backs away. She goes to boot Tegan, knocks in the face. But Tegan ducks. Dakota accidentally kicks Io in the face. And of course she stands there doing shocked face for 5 seconds. Turns around. Shining Wizard. 1, 2, 3. Piper and Tegan are the tag team champions. 97 for Io, 76 for Dakota, 78 for Tegan, 75 for Piper. I think Dakota only got 76 because I had to keep her strong. Yeah. Oh, and Io as well, but Dakota had to take the pin. That performance is a bit weak from her standards, but it's fine. We move. But yes, it's all gone haywire here tonight. It's not gone exactly as planned. Because Dakota said, Tegan would get what was coming to her for leaving Queendom, and I guess what was coming to her is the tag team championships, because that's what she got. But the show's not over. Because, Becky... No. Io and Dakota are getting to their feet after the match, or, taking in the fact they've lost. Dakota's well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, obviously. I messed up. Then Becky's music hits. And Becky Lynch strolls out to the ring. And she just gets in the ring, she gets in Io's face, they sort of just, glare at each other. And then Julia's music hits, and she also comes down. And then Dakota's well, I guess I've got to go now. And, she, walks to the back. Then Florence comes out. And she stands in the ring, facing all three champions. She went, since I won the Royal Rumble match, I've been thinking, days and nights, laying in bed at night, most nights, wondering just what my WrestleMania looks like. Because, there's some hard decisions you've got to make in your life. And this, for me, may be the hardest one of all. Because I look across at 3 of the greatest women's wrestlers here in WWE today. I look across at 3 of the most dominant women's champions here in WWE today. And I stand here, the lone Royal Rumble winner who's got to make a decision that could alter the history of this industry as we know it. Now Becky. She gets in Becky's face. She goes, when I first got into NXT UK, through NXT and up to the main roster onto Raw, and now SmackDown, you were one of the main inspirations for me to even take that leap. Because you, coming from this place, Dublin, and making it big and main eventing WrestleMania and doing everything that you've done, it inspired my generation to step into your shoes and give it a go ourselves, and now here I stand, Royal Rumble winner. So, I always told myself, hey, if I have the chance, I would love to wrestle Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for a women's championship. And when I won the Royal Rumble, I thought, now's the chance that I can finally realize my dream. I might only get this one shot. But I've since looked at myself in the mirror, looked at you, Becky, and I say, what's the rush? Neither of us are going anywhere. Sure, Florence versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Championship this year is a great match to put on the marquee. But it'll be even bigger in 2 years' time when I up my game even further and you stay on top of yours. So, Bex, I love you. But it's not going to be me and you at WrestleMania. Because I've got other things I need to attend to. She turns across to Io. Io looks across, worried at her. Florence approaches Io. She goes, bet you thought you were safe and sound, didn't you? Bet you thought you and your whole queendom, having your back. You'd taken care of my little Money in the Bank cash-in, so surely nothing would stand in your way of making it to WrestleMania as the women's champion, because, or why would Florence, she failed her cash-in, she's not going to get another opportunity, but here I am. Royal Rumble winner, Io. You're the champion. And trust me, it makes me so happy knowing that at WrestleMania, everything that you've needed to come to you is going to come to you. Because I see your world crumbling around you. Hell, you're standing in the ring with one championship right now. And at WrestleMania, you're not going to have any more championships because you are going to be avenged and you are going to be put in the ground and you are going to be a thing of the past and your queendom will be burnt to the ground. But I'm not the one who's going to do it. I'm not the one who needs to do it. Everything I said, Io, is true. And if I were you, I'd be paying extra close attention to the company I keep. And then she does turn to Julia, whose expression has gone from... She's been laughing when she approaches to Io, thinking that obviously she's going to pick Io. But now Julia is looking concerned. She goes, and you, okay, thinking you're the greatest champion there's ever been because you've beaten everybody on ECW, had to flee away to another show because you were sick of being in my shadow. Okay, great, you've broken out. You're the women's champion. You won it before I did. Congratulations. But we'd have been champions together, okay? This staple, this Florence and Julia future of this division could have been on top at the same time, but you stuck your nose in where it wasn't wanted. Okay? You had no reason to be in War Games. You had no reason to cost me my championship match, and you did it. Not just because, you were in the pocket of Cammy at the time who wanted to give you a big War Games match. No, because you're jealous of me. Everything that I'm going to be is everything that you want to be. There's only one spot here between us two. I want it, you want to keep it. I understand that. But I also understand that this championship and you need separating, because this has got to your head and you have become complacent and you have become arrogant. You think you're the greatest women's wrestler this generation's ever seen. You think you can stop me from becoming the champion? Well, at WrestleMania, there'll be no stopping me. Because I've been playing this out for weeks in my mind, but I always knew deep down who I did want to choose. It's time to finally settle this petty score between us. And find out who will rule the future. Julia, at WrestleMania, you will defend the ECW Women's Championship against me. Pop. And then she sort of takes the mic off Florence. She goes to speak. And she's like, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. You cashed in Money in the Bank. Worst time you could have possibly cashed in Money in the Bank. And now you've chosen another loss, another embarrassing defeat that proves you're not championship level. Your funeral. Slams the mic down. Slaps Florence in the face. Fight breaks out between them two. EO joins the fight. So it's 2-on-1, Julia and EO attacking Florence. Becky joins the fight, attacks EO, takes EO down. Florence hits the rain flow on Julia. And then Becky and Florence, the two who stand tall to end the show. But yeah, there's the official confirmation at WrestleMania for the ECW Women's Championship. Julia will defend against the Royal Rumble winner, Florence. I always knew I wanted to have one of the Rumble people pick the ECW belt to at least to establish that it's worth picking. So yeah, there we go. And all those months ago when Julia cost Florence the belt, and I was like, it has to be her. Now it all makes sense. But the show technically is over there, but we're gonna have a little fun post-credit scene here. Because, something that I said was going to happen on this show hasn't quite yet happened. We cut to Candace in her locker room. And she's just chilling on her phone. And she does hear a knock at the door. She's like, it's open. And she sort of goes up and goes, what do you want? And we just see a couple of seconds of silence. And Candace's expression goes from confusion to smiling. She goes, I knew it. It's like, I don't know if you saw her, but Florence, she chose to wrestle Julia at WrestleMania. You know what this means, right? It's time. It's happening. It's time for you to finish this. And then Candace leaves the locker room. We'd never find out who she was talking to. 94 rated show. Hell yeah, brother. Again, a lot of shit moving parts here for WrestleMania. In fact, including the confirmation of 2 WrestleMania matches. Gunther and Cody Rhodes and Florence and Julia. Should be a hoot of a show. But, yeah. What matters more than the 94 is what you thought of the show. So do let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for Raw, which will be kicking off the full 6 weeks road to WrestleMania. See you then.